Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Abhishek Shetty. This is the fifth video in my series that's called the 52 Book Project. I aim to read one book every week for this year and document that journey with these videos. In my reviews, I talk about things I felt, things I'm reflecting on, some insights I got. And the book I read this week was titled The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. I engaged with this book in the textual and audio form. What is the Anthropocene? It's basically a unit of geological time where humans started to have a significant impact on planet Earth. And John Green is someone whose work I've admired both in fiction and nonfiction and in a variety of media forms, whether it's video, audio, text. I've loved listening to John Green speak at the TED conference where he had this amazing talk on learning that I will link in the show notes below. I also loved listening to John's commencement speech. I loved the film that was based on his book called The Fault in Our Stars. I've read some of his fiction, and I've always recommended and also used a lot of the Hank brothers' videos from their website Crash Course in my classroom. I think John has a very interesting mind. He understands human psychology, but um, he also is able to develop such interesting insights about the world around us. And this book is basically a collection of reviews of things that we see in the world around us, like um, a remote control or a clock or an Apple Watch. But these are things that basically caught John's interest. And for this review, I'm going to take another approach. And I think it's really important to have fun with reviews, and that's what I want to do. He's reviewed over 20 different things, or maybe a little less, a little more, in this book. And he's given each one um, a rating based on a 5-star scale. So I'm going to take 5 things that he reviewed and share my observation and maybe my review of the same product with you. So the first thing I'd like to share or talk about is the game Monopoly that John reviewed in this book. I love Monopoly. Actually, just 2 days ago, I had this Monopoly marathon with a couple of my friends, and I think there are so many permutations and combinations to this game, but I think it also teaches you so much about financial management, financial literacy. I think there are undercurrents of capitalism and socialism in terms of how, by the end of this current game, one person basically has a monopoly and everyone else is bankrupt. And what does that tell you about the ideals of the creators of this game? And John also mentioned an interesting story that the person that eventually got to benefit from this game was not the original creator of the game. It was actually someone else that had a very different political philosophy. And I've enjoyed Monopoly. I've also started playing a new card version of that game that I highly recommend. And it's one of my favorite things to do when a bunch of us meet up. And we recently also had like a 3 to 4 hour Monopoly deal marathon. So it's a game I'd recommend, and I'd say 4.5 out of 5 for Monopoly. I was talking about the Mario Kart series. Again, this is another game that I often play in the Nintendo Switch gaming console. And the basic idea in this game is for characters to race against each other. I really like how John in the book mentioned that the people that normally come are lagging behind in the race get some more benefits than people that are at the front of the race. And it's really interesting how the game designers thought about that. It's also a game that progresses very gradually. It's not very hard. If you just want to race someone, it's quite easy to start off with the game, but you can also play at a more advanced level. So I'd give Mario Kart a 4 on 5, and it's something I highly enjoy playing. And it's also a game that got me back into gaming and got me excited about it. And it's something that me and my sister really enjoy playing together. So I look at it as a fun family bonding experience as well. The next thing I'd like to review are our capacity for wonder. I think it's so important as humans to realize that there's so much around us that we don't understand, but we still coexist with this world around us, whether it's the universe outside this planet or it is a book that we read that someone's taken months and months to create, but we can just consume in a week or two. So, music, art, science. I think there's so much in this world to just, look at with so much wonder and awe. And I think our capacity to wonder is one thing I'd give 5 stars to, hands down, 5 stars. Let's see, what else can I review from this condition or this program? Okay, the last two things that I want to review from John's collection are the first being air conditioning. I grew up in the Middle East, and oh my God, I can't imagine a world without air conditioning. So it helped me not only survive but strive in the Middle East. So I'd give air conditioning a 5.5 on 5. And that's primarily because of my early experience staying in a country where summers would get as hot as 40 degrees, and I really needed it to survive. And finally, Canada geese. That is one of the first things John Green reviewed in his podcast and this book. And I've had a love hate relationship with Canada geese. There was this incident once where I was cycling in a park and I almost got like two Canada geese almost ran into me, and it was quite scary. I try staying away and maintaining my distance after that. They're quite the sight to see here in Canada. You see them all around at certain times. They also tell you a lot about how the seasons are changing. Like as the winter comes, you see them slowly flying away. You don't see as much of them, but then they come back in the spring and summer. So I think I look at them as an important part of the Canadian landscape, and I would give them this is hard, but I'd give them a 2.5 on 5, mainly because of my personal experience with them. I hope you get to read this book and keep following this series for more such reviews. There's a lot more to come. I'm reading a wonderful book this week that I look forward to share with you in the coming videos. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to this, and stay tuned for more such updates from this 52 book project series. And please do subscribe to the YouTube channel by clicking the bell icon. Thank